Live from WTOC, the Southeast News leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
Well, we hope you're all having a very Merry Christmas Eve. Thanks for joining us here for the news on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Binkley. We do start this afternoon with a pretty serious story on the crime watch with news out of the Low Country. An 18-year-old Burton man has been arrested in connection to a shooting into an apartment complex that happened on Monday morning. Here's what we know. Nazir Chin was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder on top of several other charges. That's all according to the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say he shot into an occupied apartment in the Harbor One Apartments on Monday night. 3 people were inside the apartment at the time of the shooting, including a 7-year-old. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Well, 3 Savannah residents are without a home this Christmas Eve after a house fire broke out early this morning. Here are some of the pictures from the scene from the Savannah Fire Department. They say around 8:22 today, crews were dispatched to this house on East Victory Drive for a reported structure fire. The flames were contained to just the kitchen. Nobody was hurt. However, 3 people, 2 adults and a child, were displaced. Turning now to national news, Democrats in Congress say they are planning legal action if the Department of Justice doesn't release the remainder of the files in connection with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in the coming days, after the DOJ did blow past the Friday deadline to make all of the records public. Now, yesterday, the Department of Justice did release another large batch of files connected to the convicted sex offender. Erica Brown has the latest in this from the White House.
The Department of Justice says more files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are still to come, but the slow release and extensive redactions have sparked criticism.
It's been a very frustrating experience for all of the survivors that I've spoken to.
Attorney Jennifer Freeman, who represents some survivors, blasted the DOJ for not releasing all the material with necessary redactions by last Friday's deadline.
They want the truth. And it's been very hard to get the truth. And the only way to get the truth is transparency.
The thousands of files made public Tuesday include several mentions of then private citizen Donald Trump. One 2020 Justice Department email shows Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 8 times during the 90s, contradicting an earlier statement where Trump said, quote, "I was never on Epstein's plane." In another file, a woman came to the FBI before the 2020 election saying she had secondhand information about a party with prostitutes at Mar-a-Lago 2 decades earlier. President Trump has never been charged with criminal wrongdoing in connection to Epstein and has tried to distance himself from his one-time friend, including in remarks earlier this week.
I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. This whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has.
The Justice Department released a statement Tuesday acknowledging that President Trump's name was in some files, but said some of the documents contain, quote, sensationalist claims that are unfounded and false. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Turning now to travel news. For several days now, we've been talking about this very busy travel period. The TSA says the busiest day of all will be this Sunday, December 28th. The 27th and the 29th are also pretty packed. But believe it or not, today and tomorrow are actually a little bit lighter. Chris Van Cleve with CBS is at the LAX airport in Los Angeles with more.
With the clock quickly running out for millions to make it home for Christmas, it was long lines at airports from Newark all the way to Los Angeles.
Ready to holiday?
We are ready.
Stephen Thorulton, Whitney Wood, and their 2-year-old son Wyatt were heading right into the winter storm, hitting Grandma's house outside Boston Tuesday.
Having my son wake up in my childhood home to experience Christmas like I had it, I don't know, that feeling alone it's pretty special.
Aubrey Vega and her family were hoping to miss the rush on their 12-hour road trip to Galveston.
We woke up at 3 in the morning and we hit the road by 5.
In Denver, United Airlines pilot Bo Brandt spent his layover on the piano, hoping to bring some holiday joy. And at the Portland, Oregon airport, Christmas llamas replace travel drama.
They're so calm and festive in their outfits, and it's just a great way to, I think, welcome guests here to the airport, whether you're coming or going.
In Spokane, Washington, Christmas came early for 43 kids in need. Alaska Airlines took them on a very special 40-minute fantasy flight to Santa's hometown.
Participating in something like this gives them an opportunity to be children for an afternoon and have no worries and cares.
Or at least a hangar resembling the North Pole for an evening of Christmas gifts and holiday cheer. The storms in the west could be challenging. The rain for drivers, the wind for flyers. The FAA is watching for the potential of disruptions from Seattle all the way down the west coast to San Diego and Las Vegas. Also watching the New York City area airports north to Boston. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, we're all ready to have some fun for the holidays, but today state leaders are urging you to plan ahead and never get behind the wheel impaired. State troopers will be out in full force today through the holiday weekend with zero tolerance for drunk or distracted driving. Georgia State Patrol shared that last year they issued over 10,000 citations during the Christmas and New Year's holiday travel periods statewide. They remind us all that if you're out drinking, consider using a rideshare service, calling a friend or a loved one, or planning for a designated driver. Well, if you're already sweating the holiday spending, your energy bill shouldn't add to that, so here's how you can start cutting it today. Electric companies say simple changes besides turning off your lights can really help cut down your bill. Here's what most people don't know. Your lights use almost no energy when compared to your heater. Each degree above 68 costs you about $10 a month. So, for example, if you're at 72 degrees, that's $40 a month extra you're paying. The fix is to dress warmer indoors, like wearing long sleeves, throwing on a blanket, wearing some slippers, etc. And if you can wear shorts comfortably inside, you can probably turn that heat down.
You have solar at your home already. Winter usage is not really going to help you a ton because our peak usage time is during the coldest time each day, and that's when the sun's not shining. So if you have solar PV at your home, if you can invest in battery storage, that's great. Or if you already have battery storage and you can discharge those batteries during our peak usage times, which is 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the winter, that will definitely help you out.
And smart thermostats can help too because they learn when you use them and then adjust automatically. Well, after the holidays, most of us end up making at least one return, and that's a process that can get complicated pretty fast. In this Watching Your Wallet, Grace Jackman shares how to avoid return headaches and protect your money.
Presents are unwrapped, and for some shoppers, the next stop is the return line because a gift doesn't fit, doesn't work, or you already have one. Melanie McGovern with the Better Business Bureau says return rules can vary widely by retailer, so it pays to know the policy before you buy and before you try to bring it back.
It's really important when you're purchasing the item to look for that return policy, to look for that exchange policy. When you order on some of the platforms, it'll say you can return in store or pick up in store. So knowing if you can do that, really important.
And if you're the one who bought the gift, McGovern says, keep that receipt handy.
Keeping everything that comes with the package, whether it's the plastic bag that it comes in or any kind of packing slip, keep the emails that are associated with the payment to say, okay, here is my proof of payment, here is the item. Keep all the tags on everything before you decide, okay, I'm going to keep this item.
And she says those tags matter, especially in a household with kids who want to help open everything.
Tell them to stop, just so that there's that, opportunity that if something doesn't fit or if it's not the right, thing for the person, or if it's a duplicate item, that you are able to return it by having all of those things in place before you make that return.
McGovern also says don't wait. Start the return process as soon as you know it's not right. Most stores only accept returns within a set window, and some retailers adjust those deadlines during the holidays, so check the dates and don't miss your chance. And if you bought the gift online, know the return rules before you ship it back, including any requirements for packaging, proof of purchase, or return shipping.
So reading, even asking questions, a lot of websites have that little AI chat bot in there that you could just throw in the chat. Hey, can I return this if something doesn't work out? They'll give you, you have 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, whatever, original packaging, original receipt.
With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
All right, and if you're one of those holiday shopping procrastinators, you only have a few more hours to get last-minute items before stores lock up until Friday. So here's a list of some of the stores that are open today. Publix, Best Buy, Kohl's, Whole Foods, and Macy's all close at 7 tonight. Walmart closes at 6, and Target and Kroger close at 8 o'clock. All of the stores you see right now on your screen will be closed tomorrow on Christmas Day. Turning now to sports news, waiting can be one of the hardest parts in life, and that's what the UGA Bulldogs have been doing for just about a month now between games ahead of the Sugar Bowl battle against Ole Miss. It's finally rolling in a week from tomorrow on New Year's Day. Coach Kirby Smart admitted he'd prefer to play the game sooner because of how well his team's been playing as of late, but keeping energy high in the meantime doesn't seem to be an issue.
You do the best you can with the calendar you have. You try to talk to other people and find out what the best way to do things is. But I'm excited about where our team is. I'm excited that they're practicing the way they are and are excited about the opponent because they have so much respect for the team we have to play.
The Sugar Bowl matchup goes down at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans next Thursday. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Eastern. And the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are having some fun before the Pop-Tarts Bowl kickoff against BYU. Yesterday, the team spent time at a local amusement park, not just riding rides, but connecting with local students. That's an experience many say may matter just as much as this weekend's game.
Being around people that you aspire to be or want to be, it's like, and just kind of shining your light in a positive light and having a positive influence at such a young age. Over these kids, it's just been a great time. It's just how exuberant and excited they were the entire time, going from ride to ride. It just kind of lights your day, especially at the beginning of the week.
The Yellow Jackets and Cougars kick off Saturday at 3:30 in Orlando. Well, we're continuing our year in review here on WTOC Plus, now turning to business headlines where from the AI boom to household price pressures, 2025 often seemed like a tale of two economies. TikTok, Labubu, space tourism, and branding backlash. CBS News' Jared Hill clocks some of the top stories in business from 2025.
It was a wild ride on Wall Street. The markets briefly crashing in April amid tariff uncertainty, but finishing near all-time highs by year's end. The main driver, big tech, betting billions on artificial intelligence. Silicon Valley chipmaker NVIDIA became the first publicly traded company to surpass the $4 trillion mark valuation. NVIDIA is now worth almost $900 billion more than Apple. A rash of corporate layoffs hit companies including Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta. Target, UPS, and Starbucks thinned their ranks too. The tightening labor market prompted the Federal Reserve to cut its benchmark interest rate 3 times this year. Americans continued to battle high grocery prices, beef and eggs jockeying for the top spot.
It seems inevitable the prices seem to go up with everything.
But while consumer sentiment weakened, spending remained strong. President Trump signed an executive order paving the way to keep TikTok operating, requiring the Chinese-based parent company to divest and placing the platform under the control of a group of American investors. They include Oracle's Larry Ellison, the father of David Ellison, chairman and CEO of Paramount Skydance, the parent company of CBS. Paramount's 2025 merger with Skydance received regulatory approval shortly after Paramount settled President Trump's lawsuit against 60 Minutes. A giant leap for space tourism with a 10-minute flight of known origin but unknown cost. Blue Origin's new Shepard rocket carried its first all-female crew to suborbital space, including singer Katy Perry and CBS's Gayle King.
It's really quiet and peaceful, and you look down at the planet and you think, that's where we came from? And to me, it's such a reminder about how we need to do better, be better.
Flying domestically got real, with the government requiring a real ID or other acceptable form of identification, like a passport, for flights in the U.S. Branding backlash stoked culture wars and drove stock prices. From Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle jeans ad.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
To Cracker Barrel's logo redesign, the public weighed in. American Eagle stock went up and Cracker Barrel's went down. Millions of Americans unboxed Labubus, a Chinese-made plush toy that nearly tripled Pop Mart's profits this year. Labubu cemented their place in toy history when fake ones called Lafufus hit the market.
It just came to the United States and it's just like all over the place.
Americans also sunk their teeth into Dubai chocolate. Riffs on the Middle Eastern pistachio cream-filled confection hit stores across the country in 2025. That familiar staticky sound is no more. AOL ended its dial-up internet service, but you can still use free AOL email accounts.
Goodbye.
And after 232 years, it's a wrap for the penny. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck the final circulating 1-cent coin. Until it's phased out, the penny remains legal tender, still good for buying and wishing. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
You know, I still don't understand the whole Labubu thing. I spent Christmas with some family members over the weekend in Ohio, and it was a word I heard quite a bit. I still don't get it. One of the other things they brought up was the Dubai chocolate, which, funny enough, we've been tracking Santa throughout the day, and we saw he was just in the Middle East not long ago. NORAD said he just flew past the Burj Khalifa. Let me take this full screen for you. Looks like right now he is just over Moscow, Russia, so traveling through Eastern Europe. This is a great Christmas tradition. I remember tracking Santa even when I was young. NORAD's been doing this for 70 years now, believe it or not. Started back in 1955. A young boy accidentally miscalled the Aerospace Defense Command after a number was misprinted in a Sears advertisement. The commander picked up the phone. He didn't want to let the boy down, so he asked his crews, and they were able to figure out where Santa was. And since then, NORAD's been doing this every single year. We just saw that they've had 50,000 people call them so far today just for Santa updates. So then they've got this nifty website where, of course, you can see where he currently is, how many gifts have been delivered, where he's heading to next. And we actually spoke with some NORAD folks earlier in the week who say that they do expect, by tracking his flight path, they think Santa will be on the east coast of the U.S. sometime between 9 p.m. and midnight tonight. So something to keep in mind if you're planning to stay up a little bit later to watch some of those Christmas movies. All right, and with that, we are going to wrap things up here for the news on WTOC Plus. Just a quick programming note, we won't have any shows here on WTOC Plus tomorrow. We will have our regular newscasts that, of course, will air here as well at noon, 4, 4:30, 6, and 7. So all the regular programming when it comes to broadcast and Channel 11, but these digital updates are taking a hiatus just for tomorrow for the Christmas holiday. If you do have any other updates or news you want to check or, tune into that NORAD Santa tracker, we do have it pinned to our website right now for, a nice little way to check things throughout the evening. But with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap things up here on WTOC Plus. Thanks for watching, and we'll join Local News Live in progress.